Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Katie, the Introverted Reader, and today's video is going to be my wrap up for the month of July. Where did July even go? I don't know where July went, I don't know her, but yeah, this is going to be my wrap up. I partook in the Myth Take Readathon this month in July, which was a good time. I had a lot of fun, and here next to me, these are the books that I'm going to be talking to you about today. I managed to read and complete, smack myself in the face, 4 books this month, which is not usually the standard that I'm used to. Like, I'm normally used to reading like 6 or 7 books a month, but being fair, some of them are quite big chunkers, and I did actually rate I did rate a lot of them quite highly. So let's just get into it. So the first one I want to talk about is actually one that I was not able to finish. I only started it this week, but that was The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. I have made significant progress in this book. I am 240 something. Hang on, like 42 pages into this. I didn't expect to hit the 200 page mark, if I'm being honest, but I have done, and I'm really liking it. So yeah, I will talk about this again in my wrap up in at the end of August. So, and I'll leave my August TBR linked down below so you guys can find out what I'm going to be doing in the month of August. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so I guess I'll start with the ones that I actually completed. I'll start with this one, Traitor to the Throne by Elwyn Hamilton. I listened to this via the audiobook. This is the second book in the Rebel of the Sands trilogy. This was not on my TBR for the Myth Take Readathon, but it was a book that's been on my TBR since March. Yes, March. So I'm really happy that I was finally able to finish it. I really loved it. Good, solid sequel, and I'm super excited to carry on and finish this trilogy. So I rated it 4 stars. So, love that. Okay, so the next book that I read and completed was a 5-star read. I loved this book so much. I had so much fun reading this book, and that is Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Like, I loved every second of this book. It was so good. It had me giggling, it had me swooning, it had me squealing in delight. Like, I loved every minute of this, and I was actually doing sprints on Chloe Reads Books channel a couple weeks ago, reading this, and I remember commenting on the feed being like, girl, I'm close to giving this a full 5-star because this is wonderful. So, and oh my goodness, okay. You've probably seen this series floating around, but it's basically a fantasy romance story about a girl called Poppy who is basically chosen by the gods to just basically be chosen by the gods to be basically used for their purpose forever and ever. She is getting prepared to ascend. It's not really clear what the ascension is going to be, but anyway, they basically call her the Maiden, and she's not allowed to be touched, she's not allowed to be seen, and then she gets a new guard called Hawk. And things go from there, basically. Like, I love him. See all the Cassians and the Rysans of the world, and all of the giant winged fey males that yous are all yakking over? They can all go yeet off a cliff because Hawk is superior. I said what I said. I really don't care. Sergei Mastans, you can come for me all you like, but I will die on this hill. Like, I love this so much, and I'm going to be reading the 3rd book next month in August, and I'm super excited. I know the 3rd book is not everybody's favorite, but I will read it and judge what I judge for myself. But yeah, 5 out of 5 stars for Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. It was so good. It was so good. Okay, now the next book that I read and completed in the month of July was Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Now, I had plans to reread this before the TV show came out. Sadly, I wasn't able to do that. But I wanted to reread it anyway. Well, just the Grishaverse as a whole, because I haven't read King of Scars yet, so I wanted to like refresh my memory. And when I first read this, way back in like what, 2012, 2013? When was this published? Published 2012. So yeah, whenever I first read this all those many moons ago, I thought it was just okay. I rated it 3 stars overall, and I think I'm going to stick with that rating. Maybe I'll bump it up to a 3.5 because I remembered what it was that I didn't like about it. Now, when it comes to the world building and all the different types of Grisha and like the setting, everything else, top tier. Like, loved it. But it was just, Elena in the book got on my last nerve. Like, she was just so, she was very your stereotypical 2012 young adult protagonist, being like, oh, no one will like me or think I'm attractive. I have brown hair and I'm skinny. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. And so yeah, and she was very, very annoying. I remember reading that she definitely got on my last nerve in this one. Mal in the book, I felt like I barely knew him. I think that was why I didn't like him, because he felt flat to me. Like, I love Mal in the TV show. I love Mal and Elena in the TV show, but in the book, there's something about them in the book that just rubs me the wrong way, mostly because in the TV show, we got to see Mal away from Elena, you know, and like what he was doing while she was away, whereas in the book we don't. And that, I think that was why I prefer the TV show Mal over this one, because I just, yeah, just we see him whenever she gets taken away, and then we don't see him again till near the end. So I was just like, I don't know you. Who are you? But yeah, overall, I'm going to stick with my 3-star, maybe a 3.5 rating. And I am going to continue with the rest of the series. So yeah, I'm going to be reading Siege and Storm next month. And yeah, I'm really excited. I did really enjoy it. I won't lie. I did enjoy it. It was fun going back again. And I could see the TV show playing in my head as I was reading it. So it was a fun time. It was a fun time. The next book that I actually ended up DNFing this one, and it's a sad day when you DNF a book, but you know what, when you're not enjoying it, you're not enjoying it. And that was Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart. I still have my bookmark in here, so I'll take out the bookmark because it doesn't deserve it anymore. But yeah, Grace and Fury. So this is a story about 2 sisters. One of them is being groomed to become a Grace, which is basically this world's idea of a perfect woman. But in actual fact, she's literally just being groomed to be one of the king's concubines. That's literally all it is. The heir to the throne's concubines, like the old king still has his, but his son is, you know, gonna be the heir soon, because his father's sick. So, you know, obviously he needs to have concubines, because why not? Anyway, so and the other sister is you know, all headstrong and rebellious and like, I don't need a man to tell me what to do. I deserve to have a choice. I'm a feminist. Ugh. And I'm like, girl, take your white feminism somewhere else, please. This was just not it. This was not it. Like, this was not it. Like, Nomi, the sister in this, got on my damn last nerve. Didn't like her. She felt very whiny, very bratty, and yeah, she was just like sulking all the time, being like women should have like a choice. Like, why can't I just like do whatever I want? Like, ugh, like, and I'm like, sweetheart, right, just shut up. Just be quiet. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, it just wasn't fleshed out enough for me, and the characters felt flat, and there were some parts of it that I was mildly enjoying, but then in the end I find that I didn't care. We had a good premise, but it was not executed properly, in my opinion. So that was a DNF for me. What I did read, I think I ended up rating like a 2 stars or something, but like way too short, not expanded enough, and yeah. Anyway, the last book that I read and completed in the month of July is another 5-star read, and that was City of Brass by S.A. Chakrabarty. And you guys, I knew next to nothing about this book. All I knew is that it was set in Cairo, and it involved a girl who accidentally sets free a djinn, and basically everything goes from there, and it's all chaos and all this and whatever. That's literally all I knew about it, and it is that to some extent, but I don't really want to say very much more because I really feel like this is a sort of book where if you want to know more detail, you can. But if you're like me and you just need a few wee buzzwords, then I definitely recommend going into this, like, feel free to go into this blind, because I did, and I had a wonderful time. I remember reading it and thinking, okay, I'll definitely give this a 4-star at least. But then the ending, the ending of this book had me in pain. Like, oh, this was fantastic. It was so well written. The world building, the characters, like, I felt for each and every one of them. I want to protect Ali with my whole entire self and my life. Like, that boy broke my heart. That boy broke my heart. And if you know, then you know. But yeah, and did I immediately get the next 2 in the trilogy and they're literally sitting over there waiting for me to read them? Yes, I did, and I have absolutely no shame. That and my Waterstones loyalty card was full, so it was an opportunity, okay, and I took it. So yes, City of Brass gets 5 out of 5 from me. So yes, so this is a book that I still am currently reading. I'll talk to you again about that in August. Or, yeah, at the end of August. But these are the ones that I ended up completing, and I'm really proud of myself. I mean, Traitor to the Throne wasn't officially on my TBR for Myth Take, but I mean, it could have been. It easily probably could have fitted one of the prompts. Is fitted even a word? Oh well, who knows. And we only had one DNF, this right here, but you know, we're not crying about it. Anyway, what did you read in July? Did you discover a new favourite? Did you read a whole lot? Did you only read a few? Just let me know how your reading went for July. Let me know everything. And yeah, I'll leave my August TBR linked down below if you want to go and watch that and find out what I'm going to be reading in the month of August. And as usual, my Twitter, Instagram, Amazon wishlist are all linked down below, so follow me on all of the platforms, subscribe if you're not already, ring the bell, and I don't know what my next video is going to be, but sure, I'll see you when I see you. Bye!